Hello, Megan. Okay, let's see what we got here. Decided to go with to cook the cook food with the mash. I think that's a good choice. I really do. I think that concept has a lot of potential. A little bit of logic behind it, and you know what? I mean, this assignment. There's some levity behind this assignment. I think we can really push this to a humorous level. And there's another option is that's just to go purely informational graphic type approach, and we saw that in the examples. um, Remember the one with the curling iron straight in your hair, that black and white one? So the choice really is yours. I think that a lot of the ideas support this kind of jocularity, this kind of humorous approach, and using repurposing a tool for a use that's not originally intended for can yield some quite humorous results. So I think that that's a good approach. So, but nonetheless, the idea does have to have a little bit of logic behind it, because it's gonna create this kind of like, oh hey, this kind of, oh hey, yeah, moment for the viewer. If it has a little bit of logic behind it, the viewer's gonna go, oh yeah, hey, that might work, or hey, that's clever, or further connecting the viewer with the work, right? So if it's completely not possible, then the viewer's going to go, oh, how is that going to work? And maybe get a little frustrated. Do you see what I'm saying? Hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. I'll be glad to clarify. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I've got your narrative sketches up right here, and I want to, let me see, how do I want to do this? I got to reduce this a little bit because I want to take a look at the whole as well as the parts. And let me see if we have, oh, you did. Okay, so I want to do this, and I'm sorry, I should have had this up. I just want to download this so we can take a look at it. So I want to open it in Acrobat so I can use the zoom tool. So here we are. This will open in Acrobat. All right, that's what I'm after here. All right. So now we're set up. I want to take a look at each individual frame, then we'll take a bird's eye look of the composition. So, okay, first frame, we got the grum belly. He's got the guy's holding his stomach and someone's growling and making noise, right? Then he goes and he looks in the cabinet and he finds a can of soup. If I'm following, if I'm not following, please let me know. So he grabs the soup and he sees the stove. Problem, thinking about it, looking for a solution, finding a solution, implementing the solution, and then the outcome. So it works, right? Now there's a couple of suggestions. Now, of course, we can't number the narrative, so you have to find a way to connect these in a way that will make sense. And if you remember the lumberjack, remember the guy with the red beard, and the girl made him cut his beard before she would let him get some kisses, and so those were connected with little hairs from his red beard. So there's a connection between the linear path and how we're connecting the path of the narrative and the general concept. Do you see what I'm saying? So let's just hypothetically say this is alphabet soup. All right, so you could act feasibly connect remember the little alphabet noodles? You could connect that. Let's say that's chicken noodle soup. You could connect this with noodles, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So the idea is to connect the narrative with something that makes sense to the general overall concept. All right, this frame right here, he looks hangry, right? But he looks mean. He almost looks mean because his eyebrows are furrowed and his mouth is straight. Now, I think this facial expression would be more appropriate here because this is like frustrated, like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm hungry, right? Now, you've got these little lines in his stomach. Now, we're not allowed to use words or text in this, but I would be okay if you were to put a little GRR, like grr, like his stomach is growling. It's not a word technically. I mean, it's kind of pushing the boundaries of the requirements, but I think I would be okay with it. Okay, then we want to also maybe get him. Okay, so right now there's no real connection between this frame and this frame unless we maybe place him looking in the. So you got the front view here. Maybe get a side view or a 3/4 back view of him looking in the cabinet and then grabbing the soup. Okay, then he goes to the stove. We have to figure out a way to make this stove. I mean, to me, this is a critical frame right here, is how do we express to the viewer that the stove doesn't work? Okay, then we go to 5 where he's got this frustration. I would recommend putting that soup can back in his hand. Um, because he's kind of holding the soup can going, oh gosh, what am I going to do now? Then again, over here, maybe some sort of a headshot from behind him looking in the drawer. Then the aha moment. And the rest here, I think, is really, really clear. Great job from frame 7 back is really a great job. Aha, he's got the idea, pours the soup in a can, lights a match, holds the match. I would show his hand holding that match too, so we know it's him holding a match underneath the pot. Then maybe his hand pouring, and then of course he's enjoying the soup. All right, so again, I think the main thing is, well, from here, I think there's a couple of considerations. Is, are you going to place these in a shape, or maybe place a shape behind each narrative, as we saw in the hornet's nest example? Or are you going to leave them out of a shape and let them flow organically with whatever you use to connect them? I do not recommend using just arrows to connect them. I think you could make that much more visually engaging by using something that is related to the concept of the narrative itself, right? Okay, so those are my recommendations, and I think this is a fantastic start. The clarity is great. You're including all of the components of effective linear narrative, including, introducing the character, introducing the setting, introducing the problem or the conflict, potential solutions, the aha, eureka moment, choosing a solution, implementing the solution, execution of the final solution, and then the final outcome. So really great job here. At this point, Megan, I would say go ahead and just keep working. And if you want to run something by me between now and as you're working, well, I'll be glad to comment. So, if you're working, I'm working, right? So if you have anything you want me to look at, or you need any further additional comments, critiques, or recommendations, please, I'll be glad to provide as such. All right, great job. Thanks so much.